Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our live chat this afternoon. My name is Irene Barra, if you're joining me for the first time. And as usual, I'm going to go straight into our discussion. We can have lessons to learn and go home and be able to explore and do big things with our time and go after our future. Why not? I don't think anybody has ever told you one of the most important things in traveling. One of the most important things in traveling is the kind of visa you get. What kind of visa do you get? What kind of visa are you holding in your hand? The kind of visa is that most important thing that will determine everything about you wherever you're going. If you're back in Africa, some African countries, depending on your country and your passport, there are countries you can go to, you don't need a visa. There are other countries you need a visa upon arrival. There are other countries you need a visa, you can get a visa just at the airport. So it all depends what kind of visa. You need some visa to enter any country. So there's no country you're going to go into without having the necessary visa because you are not from that country. So if you're going to go to any country, even if you're going to Nigeria, you need a visa. Even if you're going to Equatorial, most of the time, I come from Cameroon personally, and we've heard most of our people go to Equatorial Guinea. Most of the time you see they are running back empty-handed because they were chased out by the police and all of that because of documents. But if you go there knowing that the first most important thing you have to know as a person is there's no way you can go into somebody's country without proper documentation and expect to feel free there. You will get the necessary documentation that you need before even stepping your leg into that country. Just so you can explore that country, have a good time, do whatever you want to do without any problem. Your own country, you don't expect people to come into it without proper documentation, without being identified at the port of entry. The government or whatever establishment it is, they want to be able to identify who else has entered their country. When you were born in your country, for example, I was born in Cameroon, they will certainly give me a birth certificate saying I was born in Boya, in Cameroon, Southwest region. That identifies me. I am in the records of the entire country. Okay? But if I have to leave Cameroon and go into another country, the people there have their records of their people as well. So they want to identify whoever is coming to that country. So nobody has ever told you that most of the time why people suffer abroad is because of the kind of visa identification, the kind of documentation they were given from day one before they even stepped into that country. So you have to know exactly what is the documentation you have to carry before going into somebody's country. You don't just walk into any country and expect that you will stroll around and some magic will happen. No. Countries are governed by specific laws, legislatures, procedures, and so on. So you have to be able to respect the laws and procedures of that country. You cannot just walk in and expect that you're going to have a free way in, or it's not charity. Immigration does not do charity. They only do what they call humanitarian protection. That is because you're coming in as an asylum seeker, you have something pursuing you from your own country, and then they can either give you a refugee status or they give you a humanitarian protection. That's a special need, special thing a country will do to you. But outside that, any other person must have a specific visa. One of the first things nobody tells you about and abroad is the kind of visa, the kind of documentation you should have when you're entering that country. Nobody has told you that before. You need a specific kind of documentation before you can step into any country and begin to do whatever you want to do in that country. You cannot walk into somebody's country. Your country, people cannot just walk in and do what they like. No. They have to be controlled. They have to be supervised. They have to be identified. You get. So if you go into a country and you're not allowed to work, you're not allowed to study, you can't say, oh, they are rigid or they are being wicked. No, it's not charity. Okay? If you have a problem, then you can talk to the government and say, okay, I'm an asylum seeker, or you need some specific humanitarian protection. They will give you a humanitarian protection visa because of your specific circumstances. But if not, then you need to identify yourself. Are you a student? You have to be identified by something. Don't be carried away by just hearing, oh, abroad, you are running. Oh, let me go abroad. No, my dear, you will reach, after you come out of the airport, you see, that's why there are many people abroad who are actually slaves in people's homes because they can't go out. They came and they got to the country and they discovered that, hey, I can't even work, I can't study, I can't do nothing, and they are stuck in somebody's home. And the person has transformed them into a slave. It's modern slavery. You're working and cooking for them, washing clothes and stuff, and they are actually just hiding you. They are keeping you because there's nowhere else you can go. You cannot have access to funds. No recourse to public funding. Western world is very organized. Do you understand? The Western world is very organized. So if you're going to think of coming abroad, make sure that you have organized yourself. you've prepared yourself, and you know exactly where you're going to, why you're going, for what visa you're going for. So many of the people suffering, like Mike Weiss is saying, they are suffering abroad because of the kind of visa they have. The kind of visa the agent person gave them without explaining to them. It is not enough for an agent, for a traveling agent to give you a visa, a tourist visa. Just a tourist visa, we are going to Canada 3 months. When you get to Canada 3 months, how do you cope? How are you going to, what happens next to you after 3 months? Have you asked that question? When you're going to US, an agent gives you a 3 months visa. Thank you. But when I get to the US, if I don't want to go back home after 3 months, what happens to me after the 3 months when my visa expires? You are in trouble. You are in total you are in trouble. You are now trying to hustle yourself to find a husband overnight to marry because you want to stay for the country. You now find husband for marry and we will give you doki, or you find wife for marry and we will give you doki, or you find, I don't know, you find something we will make you doki. Now for they will say bush strong, bush heart. Plenty people they don't say bush strong because they want to be. They don't tell you the open mistake where they make and where time where they become. They want to come with a wrong visa where they reach my country with wrong visa. So they are in a transfix. They are in a fixed position. They are in a limbo. As I talk about English, they're there for tight corner. They don't feel go out. They don't feel come in. They are just stuck there. And once that visa expires, my brother, your case serious. When your visa expires, it is the most frustrating thing you can ever experience. You could be so frustrated where you not know what to do with your life. So one of the key things when you want to travel abroad, where you want to do, not be na 13 million where you want to give person, not be na 20 million where you want to give person. That time say you see and say money not get used. That money where you give the person not be get used. Because now you don't last reach the one country. You don't know what to do again with your life. Because one, they give you now 6 months tourist visa, or they give you now 3 months tourist visa. Now who say they can't go with the tourist visa? For some countries, not be transform, not be change from tourist visa to a working visa. For some countries, not be change from tourist visa to a student visa. You hear me? So it becomes now more complicated. You can now get for start call your people back home. Say, I want to find me another £5,000 or $5,000. So I go find some person where we go do a baksa country fashion ndolo. When I go do ndolo for baksa when I lie on, because when I want to make use on the key way go cover you for the time we be, you go say you don't be so frustrated. You know, you don't frustrate for one country because of the kind of visa they gave you from the beginning. So most people they want to travel tourist visa, be very careful. Think very, if person they give you visa, say want give some country, they go some country, they give you tourist visa, good. Ask and say the tourist visa, wait to go visit after it don't expire, I go do her. Before you even think of wanting to go anywhere. What is the kind of visa that you are looking for? Most people are always into tourist visa. Okay, when you pick up the tourist visa, most tourist visas cannot go above 6 months. Tourist visas will be 6 months highest. And if you have the intention of not going back home when you get to abroad after 6 months, what happens to you after 6 months? Because no country is going to let you into their country to bypass their laws or sit on their laws because you found yourself in their country. Because you were, as long as you were 18 years and above, you should have known what you were doing with your life. From 18, you are considered an adult. So for you to find yourself in that country, you should have known before even coming. Conference visas. Some people just want to get a visa. You go and get a conference visa. Conference visa, they'll give you a tourist visa. I've been to conferences here and there. I've been to conferences in many countries. They'll give you, it's a regular tourist visa. Or travel visa, how they call it? Yeah, touristic visa. They just give you a simple touristic visa for a conference, or a simple touristic visa for any training that's going to be 2 weeks, 3 months, highest 3 months. They give you a simple touristic visa. And that visa is going to last you 6 months. For some countries, 6 months, like UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US, 6 months. But other European countries, 3 weeks, 1 month, they'll give you a visa for that period. 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. For some countries, they will give you a visa for 2 weeks because you're going for a conference. Now, when you enter that place after your conference, what happens to you if you don't want to go back? What is going to happen to you? So you need to ask yourself, if I'm going to take the risk of going to any country on a conference visa, what happens to me when I get there and after the conference? Where do I go to from there? Because it's not going to be charity. There's not going to be charity here for you if you're illegal. The worst thing that can happen to anybody is to find themselves abroad illegally. To find yourself abroad in a limbo situation where you don't have documentation, you are cooked. You'll be going from one cousin or one brother or one countryman to another, and you become an absolute modern slave. If a man is not keeping you in his house as a sex slave, a woman is keeping you in their house as a nanny, to work for them for free, and they hide you there, and you stay there hoping that some miracle will happen and some grace, I don't know, will happen. And it's not a good situation. Trust me, it's a very difficult situation. So don't just go because you want to. Most people, do you know why Nigerians succeed? Nigerians succeed because they do a lot of research on traveling, on the visa type they take. So than rush, get a wrong visa, get abroad and suffer, they prefer to wait, take their time, follow strict rules and procedures, get abroad with a good visa. Even if that visa, the most important thing is the visa should allow you some freedom to either go to school or your skill level or something, but the visa allows you to do whatever you have to do. The worst situation is being in a situation where visa not being get you visa, or the visa not allow you to do anything. Some countries will give you only for the number of days you're going to stay for that workshop. It's 1 week. If it's 5 days. So it is not enough to just say, oh, I want to travel abroad, or some person, they promise you, say, I will give you visa, I will give you this, I will give you that, and so on. Even people where they can't UK say that they can't for work visa, or now which country want to go for work visa. That work exists. The work exists because if you enter the country for UK on a work visa, on a skill level visa, you get for the contribute to the tax of the country from the salary where you end. From the salary where you earn, you're supposed to contribute, you're supposed to pay taxes, you're supposed to. If not, they will revoke that visa. So it's not even enough for person to give you fake visa when you say fake work when they exist. When you reach your day, how you go be accountable to the government when you give the visa, say you actually can't work, and then you actually work, month one end, they know, because everything abroad is digitalized. And they call it digitalized. And so they talk about English. Everything they have a machine. Once you just put your name, so pyong, all your information just come out raw. Now they give you visa no. If visa don't know you, they know. I say that so you know I do something. They look at people play with it. They know why you work our play with like enter. They know. They know how to follow you up if they want to follow you up. So you see, most of your people, the way they come out pay Kanye on the wrong visa, they did for some house. They don't pack them for day. They do factory work for some person. They hide. You know, yeah, recently for America, where Trump, when Trump came in as a president, Trump was beginning to regularize the immigration system in the country, and they say more than half of the majority farm workers in America, they disappeared. The farms are left to fallow because the workers, they had no paperwork, and so the only job they can do is those kind of jobs where these people need workers, but they can't really lay hands on these workers, and they work lengthy hours. No, they are not regularized. Even if they don't pay you, you can't complain to anybody. You can't, even if you're maltreated, even if you're being used as a slave, or anything happens to you, you cannot help yourself. That's why sometimes at some point you go gaga, you go into drugs, you go into bad company because of the stress. You begin to regret why you came abroad, because this is not what you thought. Many people made it look different, and now you're here, you're stranded. That's why our people say, "Push not fine, not come. It is tough, don't come." But they won't tell you the reality. You came on a wrong visa. If you are here on a wrong visa, you are cooked. Everything is in the computer. So be careful the kind of visa an agent is giving you. The embassy, once every documentation is proven that because they want to believe you. They believe you. You said you are going for a conference. They believe you. They believe that you're going for the conference. That's why they gave you the visa. They don't know if you're going and you have other things. They are not stupid. They looked at the documentation. They looked at the conference. The conference is actually going to happen. The conference needs participants. It is normal for them to give you a visa. And then you come, you go to whatever country, and you get there and you don't want to go back anymore. And you've forgotten that it was a conference visa you got. And that in that country, you cannot change from a conference visa to a residency, or to a work visa, or to a student visa. You are stranded. And inbox me, I'm here for that. I want to really help people, or if you want to help me in one way, no problem, you can inbox me. It's a very terrible thing. People have been so deceived. You don't be desperate to travel. You can travel. Everybody can travel, but don't travel in desperation. If you travel in desperation, you're going to work with the wrong visa agent or travel agent. They are going to give you the wrong visa. You go to the wrong country for the wrong reasons. And then that is the beginning of your trouble. You have to start having trouble right from your own country. And that's why when you get abroad, you begin to say, oh, I wish home becomes the best thing that ever happened to you. You just hope and wish somebody could carry you and throw you back home. Too late. You're already in another country, miles away. You need another serious back, how do you call it, visa to go back or go and report yourself to the police for them to proceed. And then they send you back. You might even get to your country at the airport. If you're not careful, they will carry you and dump you inside there for going to tell lies out there and being repatriated and all of that. So you have to be careful what visa you are taking to come here. Or go to whatever country of your choice. What is a charity visa? That you're coming to work for a charity organization. That is a skilled worker visa, right? If you're coming here for a charity visa, it means you're coming to work in a charity organization. That's a skilled worker visa. Let's be careful, though. Let us not use hearing things and we don't go. This thing is even very simple. If you just go to Google and say, Google, what is a charity visa for the UK? Bam, all the information will just pop up in a long line. There is no charity organization that is going to take you here to work as a volunteer. Maybe you're coming to volunteer. You're coming to volunteer as a skilled worker. You cannot come to volunteer when you don't have the skills that they need for that volunteering service. To even volunteer, you go through interview. Me, I applied to volunteer somewhere. I went through an interview. I was interviewed to volunteer in a charity organization. And then I needed references, people to reference, people from here to say that, yes, they know me and I can work in this charity organization. I can volunteer in this charity. Then one more of somebody from abroad. So it's a skill worker visa. Except I'm making a mistake. Charity visa for the UK, it means an organization, a charity organization licensed. It must be licensed to bring in workers. Don't be deceived, because anytime an organization, you are right, you're going to work a charity or a charity, what is a charity visa? Charity visa means, well, it's not in the air. There's a charity organization somewhere looking for your services. Sorry, it's hot. If you go to Google and say charity visa, it will tell you charity visa. Is there even anything like charity? It's a skilled worker visa where you're going to volunteer in a charity organization. You're going to, as a volunteer, you're going to work, or you're going to even work as a charity in a charity. So some charity organizations are licensed to bring in skilled workers from abroad. Some organizations are licensed. Some big organizations, charity organizations, are licensed to give COS for charity workers. It means that you have shown proof. You would have to prove to the embassy and prove to the organization itself that you're qualified to come here and work in the charity organization. What is the proof? Have you been adding value to yourself back home? Are you somebody that resembles me, like me? Were you doing some charity work? Or because it is not, the embassy will want to. One thing is, if you're coming for a charity visa, you need to get a charity organization first. You have to look for a charity organization, one, and it must be an organization that is licensed to bring international workers. Not all organizations are licensed to bring international. What do you mean by license? Licensed means that they take the commitment that they prove to the government that they are capable of sponsoring you. That means sponsoring means bringing you, not sponsoring not necessarily means like they're going to finance your ticket and everything. You might be taking care of your ticket and others. But sponsoring means they are taking the oath before government that they can bring you, ensure that as you're coming here, you're going to work what you have said you're coming to do. And you're going to stay under that visa. You're not going to do other things outside. You're not going to be a source of crime for them. So charities take time to bring somebody from abroad. It doesn't sound as simple as many people that want to create content go on TikTok and begin to say charity visa. They are just creating content. It's not as it sounds like that. It's not as easy as it sounds. Because an organization is taken on oath that they are capable of bringing a work. They have proven to the government that they are capable of bringing somebody, keeping them, and then the person will stay here, respect the laws, stay under that visa until proven otherwise, and blah, blah, and so on. So it must be a licensed organization. The government has given them the license to bring somebody. And not all charity organizations are licensed to bring somebody from abroad. You get? Not all organizations. So let no Tom, Dick, Harry just call you and say, charity organization visa. Charity organization visa. I will give you a visa to come and work in a charity organization. Because is there something like a charity visa? Then you now have to go online yourself. Ask the name of the charity. Go online. Go to the UK official website, uk.org, and then find out. Just write official website of of charity organizations licensed to bring skilled workers abroad. The list will pop up. And then you just introduce that particular name of that organization and see if it pops up as one of the organizations licensed to bring in charity workers from abroad. If it is, then good. Then good. Then they should have a procedure which you have to follow, okay? Which you have to follow for them to be able to send you a COS, and which has become very expensive for organizations now. So they have a procedure. It's not going to be like they just send you some crazy paper overnight. No, you can even ask Google, what is the procedure to get a COS from a charity organization online? They will list you the procedure to get a COS from charity organizations. And then you write it down. And when you meet the charity organization that is recruiting, then you can find out. Because there are charity organizations that recruit, that you come and volunteer for them. Okay, you volunteer for them. They will not pay you any salary, but they will take care of your accommodation. They take care of your feeding. And that's all. You're coming on a charity visa means you are not entitled to public funding. So the only person that is helping you, because you came as a volunteer. When you're a volunteer, you're not supposed to be paid. If anybody is paying you as a volunteer, it's illegal. So you have to know whether the charity visa is working visa or a working skill visa or volunteering, skill volunteering. Because if it's volunteering, you don't expect a salary. If volunteering, they don't pay you. They can only pay if maybe you pay transport to go to work. They give you the transport back. They reimburse with tickets. You show tickets. It's very strict here. Monetary issues to 1 franc is very, very strict here. So you volunteer with them. Some organizations, they give you accommodations, they give you feeding, and that's all. So that would be a good start for you to gain UK experience. Okay? That could be a good start for you to gain UK. You can work for them 9 months, 1 year, 2 years, even. You gain UK experience. After some time, you can look for another organization that is giving a COS in the country, and then you can continue working. It's possible. But it needs patience, careful planning, and determination. That's it for a charity visa. But how many years? You have to find out the visa they're giving you. How many years is it going to be? Volunteering for 1 year, for 6 months, for 9 months? If it's 6 months, 1 year, after, you'll always ask, after the 1 year, what happens? Find out what happens after. Are you eligible for job, looking for a job after 1 year, or you therefore know what if you do after that 1 year? That's what the matter day. So bush na fine thing, very fine thing. But what visa you get to come abroad? Now be the problem. You walking on the street, you will see plenty of people. They're not okay. They're not okay. One, leaving home, leaving everything you've known your whole life, and then coming into a new thing on its own. Mentally, it be draining. Their laws are different. Their way of doing things are different. There's no bribery. You cannot bribe your way here. Yes is yes, no is no. Time 8 a.m. is 8 a.m. 9 p.m. is 9 p.m. 6 o'clock is 6 o'clock. There's no, beating around the bush about things. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that here. It is straight. It is straight. So like that, mentally already you have to prepare yourself. Do you understand me? There's no room for just sleeping carelessly without thinking of the next minute. Your life has to be organized. That's why I insist back home, be doing something. Get used to doing something. If not here, you will be a burden, and there's nobody who's going to waste. No man, they will leave you work for you, follow you up and down for waiting. People be busy. For even get the work, is hard to get the job. Or when somebody lands a job, they want to keep their job, so they don't have time to attend to your excesses. Why would you even see them for them to attend to your excesses? That's the difficulty of abroad. You get. And because you're in another person's land, there's access to everything is so different. Today, I will be more on student visa. I'm going to talk about student visa today. I want to talk about student visas. One of the best visas, so if you can travel abroad, student visa. Whether you want kind of a degree program, whether you want kind of a PhD program, whether you want kind of a master's, or you want kind of a research program, or you want kind of a foundation degree. All of this now very good method for travel abroad, explore, get experience. Student visa. It don't matter when you last come on university. It's not important. It doesn't matter when you left the university. It doesn't matter when you left your degree class. It doesn't matter when you left your PhD. It doesn't matter when you left your research program. We want to do another research in another domain. We want to improve ourselves all the time. Now, these are the different domains you could want to come here to study. A degree program, a master's program. A degree program can be between 3 years to 5 years, because sometimes if you're coming to study for a degree program, you want to come for the foundational program of that particular degree, and then you go to the 3 years degree course, and some degree courses are 4 years, depending, like engineering is 5 years. doctors, I don't know. That one, I've never really gone into much of it. But some of them 5, 6, 7 years of studies. For PhD, your master's program can be 1 year, can be 6 months even, it can be 9 months, it can be 12 months, it can be 1 year, 2 years. For masters, some can go from between 6 months to up to 3 years. For research can be between 6 months as well as 5 years. It depends. It all depends on the time, what you want to do, on the subject you want to come and study here. And today, if you have your pens and papers ready, I'm going to give you, like for the UK, I'm going to give you a list of some very affordable universities you can attend, which are very affordable. Now, this is what happens for most people who want to come for student visas. If you want to travel as a student, you start planning at least 5, 6 months before time. One, if a student is in the house, you write, 1, what did you get at the advanced level class? What did you get at advanced level? Or if you have a degree already and you want to come and do another degree, it's possible. You can have had a degree and you want to come and do another degree in a different domain. There are people who have many degrees. I've met students here who've come from Asia who had another degree in Asia, and then they came here and did another degree program in another domain. The degree they had already just gave them chances to maybe to have more points to study whatever other degree they want to study. Because you could have studied another degree, but afterward you discover that, no, I need to do something else that will really make more sense and give me more points or help me achieve my dreams better. And so you do another degree. Okay? So you can, first of all, how many grades did you have in your advanced level? Because some universities are very strict on the number of points, from 88 points upward, 88 to 120 points. So you should have at least a good number of A's and B's and C's, some E or whatever. I'm coping just fine. I have no problem here. I'm very okay. It's just I don't sell dreams. I like people to face reality. That's why I'm documenting my journey. So you see, I'm not even showing all. The times I cry, I've not showed you. There are times I really cry. I cried many times. But personally, I'm doing very okay because I knew where I was, how I'm going about, and I ask questions, and I know how to knock doors and find out what is good for me. So I'm coping very well. I'm coping very, very well. You know why? Because I have coped a lot before coming. That's why I advise people to cope a lot. Do things. Get busy. Go knock on doors and let them refuse that door to open it for you. You get frustrated with many things in life and succeed in some, fail in some. It makes you strong. Okay? So you can face your life abroad without any problem if you want to, if your dream is to be here. But if you come here, brabalang, if you come here, you're going to suffer. That thing people are telling you not come, that's what you're going to tell you here. But aside that, I've seen young people come here and cope very well. They are studying, they are doing part-time jobs, they are hustling, and at the end of the day, they put the two together and they succeed. The same struggle they were having back home, they are doing the same struggle here, but in a different environment, with different things happening, and down there, it's just the same life cycle, but in different environments. So for me, it's the same. So what's the difference? If you want to go there and do in another environment, go. Why not? There. Veronica says, one thing is meeting the right agent, but many keep falling victims with the wrong ones. Now, after all the information, how to get a real agent would be a problem. What do you need an agent for? After all my explanation, you still need an agent. Do you need an agent, really? Do you really need an agent? You don't need an agent. Okay, tell me, what do you want to do? Let me tell you how you don't need an agent. What is it you want to do? Veronica, personally to you now, what do you want? Tell me what you want, and I'll tell you how to do it without an agent. I will give you procedure. I'll tell you, take a pen and paper, write it. I will sit here and give you the procedure from A to Z. You will not need an agent. What do you need an agent for? What are you looking for an agent for? Except you wrote to a school. If you're coming as a student, you wrote to a particular school. Let's say you wrote to University of Hallam University in Sheffield. Let's say, for example, you wrote to Hallam University in Sheffield. And then Hallam University referred you. They referred you on their official email. Please be careful. Don't go and write to a fake email. You wrote to an official email, and they referred you to an agent, which is somebody that is connected to them back in your country. That, oh, we are in partnership with this university, or in partnership with this school, or in partnership with this particular company. You can get to them and they will help you. That is different. And if they're in partnership with somebody, that person will not ask you one franc. If you go to any agent for school especially, and they ask you 1 franc, is a thief. Everybody who is an agency that is doing education, they don't ask you money because the schools have a way of paying them back. So they don't ask money from students. They only help you apply for the school, and then you pay your school fees to the school. Everything you pay to the school, you don't pay to the agent. If an agent is asking you money for school, it's a thief. Tell him I said so. That is a 4199. They should lock him up. Fumbo Bruno says, how is the wage salary relatively to what you will settle the bills at the end of the month? Will saving be encouraging? Now, if you are coming to the UK, for example, let's say the UK, for example, life in the UK is very expensive. It has nothing to do with CFA. Like CFA from somebody from Cameroon. It has nothing to do with CFA. Because it's multiplied times. Pound sterling is like the highest currency on earth, right? Yeah. So if you're going to come here, you're going to be looking at what kind of job are you going to be doing? How much will you be earning? Because every job has a specific salary. If you are entitled to work, that's why we want to, I'm personally encouraging people to come with the right visa so that you cannot stay without doing something. You must be able to do some kind of job and raise money to take care of yourself. So that's why I'm encouraging people to come with the right visa. So now, if you're coming here with the right visa, let's say you're coming with a working visa and you have the minimum wage, it all depends on the city where you stay. Some cities are super expensive with rents. So at the end of the month, your money will go all for rents if you're not careful. But if you are in another city, you see that the rent is a little lower. So what most people do is they will leave. It's true, the jobs are in the big cities, yeah. But there are other cities that are not so big like London and stuff. They are not as big as London, but they will be able to offer you a job. And you will pay a rent that is slightly lower. Or you can be able to find a place where you do shared accommodation, where shared accommodation is like, we have those accommodations exist. We have one sitting room, and then people have different rooms. So at that point, the accommodation becomes a little lower. How much are you earning? Okay, if you come here and you came as a skilled worker, let's say for example you came to the UK as a skilled worker, and you have the minimum wage, and you have a room, you just get a room where you pay maybe £800 per month for your rent, and your gas, your electricity bills, your house tax, your housing tax, and maybe you have a car or you don't have a car. Okay, all of that depends. So at the end of the month, you'll be able to keep something for yourself. Now, what makes the difference is you're able to work, you're able to have money to pay the rents and pay the bills. Even if at the end of the month you have a little something over, you're okay because you have been able to pay you're living your life. You're paying your bills and you're living a life normally. Otherwise, if you were back home, will you be working the same, having that salary and having maybe the calm mind? So sometimes people are here for the experience. They are spending a lot of money on bills, but they are enjoying the experience. Maybe back home, their salary was not up to that amount, and they were saving maybe almost the same at the end of the month. But they were having the home experience. But here abroad, they are having the abroad experience. Despite the bills and all of that, they are having the abroad experience. So at the end of the day, it's about the mind, the different levels, the different places you find yourself, and the experience you're getting at that particular point in time. And one thing about abroad is you can't be here and too comfortable with the present job you have. There's always a possibility of getting a little certification here, certification there, certification there, certification there. And at the end of the day, you can divert to do something and maybe get self-employed. One day I'll be self-employed. And do your own thing for yourself if you want to. Or be able to raise some money, get experience, and go you back home. And live your life differently there when you get home. At that time, you live your life differently. But I think from my experience, most people who have stayed abroad, when they go back home, they have a difficult time to survive back home. Because so many things are different. The air is no longer as clean as it was here. The climatic conditions are not the same anymore. The health care is not the same. The roads, so many things are not the same. So it makes people, despite them wanting to go back, okay, they feel like, okay, let's just stay here and just live the life. After all, life now once. Like I said, right, I don't know about everybody's unique experience. People pay bills because oftentimes you come into a new country, you get a car overnight. You know, here abroad, you can get everything you want. It depends who advised you when you came in and how you came in. You are your car is on rent. You rented it. I mean, how do you call it? You borrowed a car. You borrowed your phone. You borrowed your clothes. You borrowed everything. You borrowed everything. You borrowed everything. So at the end of the month, you pay all the bills. If you're not comfortable, you go back home. It's as simple as ABC. What's wrong there? Go back home. Go home. That is their method. If you have both experience, home method and abroad method. If you're not comfortable with abroad method, go back home. But don't tell anybody to not come. Let them come and experience it as well. Because I don't want to live your experience. I don't want to live by anybody's experience. That's my policy. I don't have any problem with people telling the truth about expenses. They have not experienced it. Let them come and experience it and make a choice. And I don't want to live my life by your. That's why when I was coming abroad, I didn't tell anybody how I'm going to move. Because I don't want to live by anybody's experience. I will have a very bad mindset and I will not succeed. That said, the same group of bushfallers build mansions back home. How are they doing it? Because we're only looking about people that spend. There are people building mansions, mega hotels back home. How are they doing it? So some people, even back home, not everybody is succeeding. The people you are saying, no, don't come, stay back. Not everybody is succeeding as well. Not everybody. There are people that are abroad, they're at home, they left school, they left university with best degree, with the best honors and whatever. They are driving, either doing bikes or they are pushing trucks in the market or they are doing some menial jobs. It's the same thing. It's the same life. So let people go wherever they want to go, try whatever they want to try, get their own experience and live their lives. That's my policy. I don't like it when you tell people don't come because your experience will not be my experience. My experience will not be your experience. And Prince says, generally people go to agents to get student visa without intention of attending school. That's what some of the people asking about agents are not saying out loud. Until people start applying for the right visa with the right intention, you will keep falling on unscrupulous agents and they will eat your money. Let them eat it very well. Let me tell you for free. If you don't have the intention to come and study, don't go and ask for a student visa. Because once you enter the Western world, and do you know what happens when schools are giving visas? Not all schools give visas to international, CAS. Not all schools give CAS to international students. They are not authorized to. Only specific schools are licensed to give CAS. Do you know why they are licensed? It means that they are taking a voucher before the government that they can sponsor the student. Sponsoring the student means what? They are vouching with their school that they are able to bring a student. And once the student gets here, the student will start. They will make sure that the student is studying. They will make sure that the student remains a student, go through all the courses, and then graduate and pay their school fees. So before the government will give them authorization to give out CAS to anybody coming here. So not all schools are authorized to give that document to say that yes, you are authorized to come here. Yeah, they are saying that it's better back home because they have experience here and they remember the experience back home. And that's what I'm telling you today. Home and here, these are two different worlds. Be careful. That's what I'm telling you from day one. Many people were misled from the agent who gave them a visa, or the people that maybe did not go to an agent. They were misled from the beginning. What visa were you having in your hand when you were coming here abroad? Or when you came abroad, did you carry your mbangala and wrap it and keep it and know that this is another world complete where you cannot carry your canas and be moving with their canas up and down, be moving with it like this? Women will keep you in the prison for years, especially these boys. Tell your sons when they are coming here, they should learn how to keep their pennies and wrap it like this and pocket it. Because here, their life will end in prison. They will be in prison there are charity organizations specialized for people like that. They are specialized for the men. They are charity organizations and their speciality. Let me say, how they call them? Chambers. Chambers and they way lawyer then if they don't have where woman don't so they buy the case. The man will go prison. So many people they not tell our sons these things before they can hear. So some of them come with the mentality of back home. They enter here for different community, carry the same mentality, bring her here, bam, they are cooked for life. They drop picking here, drop and they drop. My brother, you know, go get life. No, you know what? 1 franc. So 1 franc will enter your pocket. You go pay child support, left, right, front, center. 1 franc. That's they will tell you to not come because their lives when they came in, they disorientated their lives. They had no focus. They thought they were still back home. So young people who are coming, be careful. Listen to me very well. You see this gray hair? Now age. When you're coming to abroad for students, wrap your pennies and put it in your pocket. Focus on the studies, why you came, why all the money your parents paid for you. And then don't go to an agent and ask for a student visa where you have no intention to study. Once that purpose for which the government gave that university the access to give you, how do they call that thing again? Confirmation of acceptance to study. Once the school notices that you are not coming to class, they will have a number of classes that they will be counting. They'll be ticking, you're not coming, or you're faking it, you're doing round. You will just hear knock on your door. They'll pick you and they will just take you to the airport, back home. Because you came for a student visa, you're not studying. So there's no need for you being here. They will send you back. If they don't send you back, before you know it, they will cancel that visa and just leave you. Once they cancel that visa, now you no longer have any visa at all. You are not eligible to go to school. You are not eligible to work. You are not eligible to do anything. You are useless. The best you can do is smoke, drug, and go mental and start going online and telling people trash. One thing I want to tell a newcomer is, A's experience is not your experience. And don't let their experience be your experience. If they are telling you to not come abroad, it means they have seen some things that are not good. So it should ring a bell in your head to question, why are they saying so, but they are still there? Maybe something was not okay somewhere. And so you begin to learn so that you don't come here and make the same mistakes. Don't be scared, but learn from their mistakes if they are willing to tell you their mistakes. Most of the mistakes are people came on a student visa and never studied. That visa was cancelled or nullified. Once that visa for which you were brought, the thing that brought you here, student visa, now you are not going to school, they will nullify that visa. You are useless. You are neither a student, you are neither a worker, you are neither anything. You are useless. You have access to nothing. It's not like at home where you can just do anything, any day, anytime, freely. No. Here, everything is organized. Data is being kept for whoever, whatever, any day, anytime. They put my name on their machine, pump every information about me, everywhere I have stayed will pop up from day one. So be careful if you're going to ask for a student visa, you're coming to study. And it's a very good route. Why will you ask for a student visa, you come and you don't study? Come, study, work hard, your 20 hours for working time, use those 20 hours judiciously. Use those 20 hours judiciously. Hustle one or two things. School will even help you with jobs. And then within the school time, look for scholarships. If you are really a dear future student, if you are really a serious student in your university, you are studying hard, okay, with good passes, there are other organizations, charity organizations. You can write to charity organizations to support you as an international student who is lacking behind because of this and that. They will support you. There are charity organizations that will support you with clothes. There are charity organizations that's willing to support you with food. You go to them. The charity organization I was volunteering there. You can come there like every week. They have clothes are piled like this. You come there, open it, pick your own and go. You come, if it's a day for food, sometimes you come, they give fresh vegetables, they give fresh meat, fresh this and fresh that. You come and take on those days. You go back to school. There are other banks and other organizations and big corporate bodies that give out scholarships specifically for children, for people from disadvantaged countries, disadvantaged groups. They consider Africans as people from disadvantaged, low-income countries. There are specific scholarships just for those students, people from there. And then you just need to show proof of them. I'm studying. This is the course I'm doing. I'm in year 1 or year 2. I'm getting stranded at this point. I need help. They will help you and take part of your school fees off and pay the school fees for you. But you come, you don't want to go to school. You're running after people that are doing jobs on skill level. Why? He came on skill level. You came as student. Go to school. Follow your road. You follow different my road for waiting. Why are you going after people that are here on skill level or people that have been here for years? That's why I don't like, when I came, I did not want to go behind anybody because they will confuse me with their experience. I want to have my own experience. Leave me alone. Let me have my experience. And so far, it's 150% perfect. Excellent for me. I have no problem. Because I read, I ask questions. I go to offices. You don't even need to go to an office. Just call on the phone or write them an email. They will reply you. So if you're going to come as a student, come to study. You'll thank God you came, you sat down, you studied. You'll be so happy with yourself at the end of the day. But because you know what, in the UK, if you come here for a master's program or degree program or PhD, you have a 2 years post-graduate visa, free. You have 2 years after your visa. You have 2 years. That 2 years, they want you to look for a job to gain UK experience, working experience. And within that 2 years, you can be looking for jobs, working, That time you are free to work. Anything you want, number of hours you want for 2 years, 24 months. You look for jobs, you work, and then within that time, you can look for a company that at the end of the 2 years, they can give you a COS to now work permanently. You see that it is the smooth path to travel abroad. And that visa is actually even payable. And if you are excellent in school, companies will pick you before you even graduate. Before you graduate, they will pick you from university and you'll be working. It is going to be competitive, but no two graces are the same. Come on, man. I know what I'm talking about. No two graces are the same. And oftentimes, it just depends how you pray and how serious you are. Don't go for a student visa when you are going to get abroad and not study. You will suffer very well. You end up you will end last now. So Ombamba Sarah will take you, put and so pocket and so inside armpit, the knackle drum. If you go even see them, you go useless for the woman country. Student visa are the best visa if you ever take and work, go you play wango. And English Cameroonian, the UK, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, all these countries. Now for they want to go school now. English people, now be English. Now for they want to go to higher school, now go schools. That thing for students. There are some people are saying that they don't have money to go to school. There are international organizations that give loans for people that are students who are coming to study in any big country. You are going to UK, US, Australia, any of these big countries. You want to go and study, you don't have money. You apply to them, they'll give you loans. They'll give you a loan to go and study. You finish studying. Once you finish studying, then you get a job, you start paying them back their loans small. I can give you some of those companies that give loans to students. As you are there in Cameroon, Nigeria, in Chad, whatever country you are, there you apply for the loans from there. The difference is they don't give the money to you, they'll pay the school fees to the school. And some of them even give you loans, they don't give you school fees loan, they give you allowance, living allowance. For those who don't have money. If you are 22, 23 years, you can pay the loan for the next 20 years. What's there? I started taking loans when I started working in a big job. My big job was in 2007. By 2008 or so, I'd already taken a loan. I took a loan. My first loan was 6 million. My next loan was 5 million. My other loan was 10 million. That's life. People, don't be scared about these things. You do them and then you have the good mind. It will push you to work hard. You'll be paying these things little by little. You're young. You finish 3 years university and you get a job and they'll be paying the loan little by little. In 20 years, the loan is finished. What's that? They go pay child support so their own. So I don't know since some of their business, child support as some of their business. You just carry one country, you just carry carry bim, the work out up and down. That bim go pay child support stay on can down. They know tell you play with it. You go la wrong, plenty people don't wrong go back for pay because they don't pay child support. You go wash pan, wash pot. By the end of the month, you know, 61 franc. You don't go for madam or picking them. Yes. Yes. Your hair go gray, you know, 1 franc. And as you go bitter, anybody want come one man country will tell you, no come, because you say don't sing wing. That's why I advise every person, come with your experience, just gain your own experience. Learn from all these things we are saying, but push your own personal experience through. Learn from your elders, what they did wrong, and that did not work for them. So now, if you want to come to abroad as a student, first things first is you have to look for a school. Like I said, no, the first thing first was you have to look for what do you have to offer? Did you pass your degree, or you have a degree already, or you have a PhD, you have a master's, you want to come and do research, you want to come and do a degree program. The degree program, like I said, is 3 years, master's 2 years, 6 months for some people, 9 months, 1 year. It all depends. For others, it is 5 years, 4 years. It all depends. Research also depends how long you want to come and do your research. So studying is for everybody. It's not for some specific people. And the good thing about some countries is you can actually get a student visa, and some countries will allow you bring your dependents. It can be like your wife and children below 18. because these are your dependents. You can come with them to study, because while you're studying, you don't want to be away from they like family. They don't want you to be away from your children or your family, your wife when you're studying. So if you get a student visa and you have a family, you might want to come with your family. That's fine. So your family is under you as a student. While you study, they hustle here and there, and you guys make ends meet. It's life. It's life. So now, if you want to come and study in the UK as a student, it depends how many points you had at the A levels, especially those with good points. For those companies offering loans for students, all the students with AAs and BBs in advanced level, you can go to university without your parents having 1 franc. You don't have to pay anything. You just apply to those people. You go online and apply. It's not difficult. I'll give you some of the names of some of those companies that are legal. They are legal, that give loans to international students. They are open to Africans. You can go through them, and then you get full funding for your school fees. And some of them give money for feeding. Some don't. Some don't even need collateral. Some need collateral. So you just have to show proof that you've had a document, a CAS. You have been admitted into the university, and they will do the rest for you. And then when you graduate, then you can begin to pay them gradually. You make your case worse if you get abroad and you don't want to study. You are a dead person. So once you get you look at your points at the advanced level, or the degree, or your PhD or masters or research, whatever you want to do, then you go out and Google what university you want to come and study in, the program you want to study in, what university. Look for the university that is licensed by the government to bring in international students. Because somebody can deceive you and tell you, oh, I'm sending you to so school. Meanwhile, that school is not licensed to bring in international students. You have to find out whether that school is licensed to bring in international students. I'm going to give you a list of some schools with very low school fees. Very low school fees. Now, school fees per year for some schools some schools have up to about £9,000. For UK, £9,000, £10,000, as little as 9. Yes, for 1 year. Some universities, their school fees are as little as £9,000. Some is £10,000. Some is £12,000. Some is £11,000. Some is £15,000 for 1 year. So now you make the calculation. £9,000 for 1 year. How much is that? So that's why it becomes easier for you if you're coming to do a master's program, because a master's program that is 1 year and the school fees is £9,000 or 10,000 or 12,000. You see that you're on the good side, right? Now, if you're coming to do a master's program and it's 1 year, let's take 12 months, and you know that after your master's program you have 2 years for post-degree or post-degree visa or postgraduate visa, 2 years to work. After your master's, that's what I told you last time. Plenty people, they come on Nigeria, they can't afford that program, they follow on that particular line because they can't study in 1 year. You just pay your fees now for 1 year course, on a master's course or PhD or research. Okay. After that, you get 2 years for walk around, do jobs or jobs, and then after that, you feel find out job we will give you COS. If you find out work we will give you COS. Okay. Then you feel when they give you COS, then you will stay. And after some time, you go see and you go to other details. And if you go to other, I don't know do research for you nothing. And if you do other research, you go into other details. You find yourself being here 10 years for your residency and stuff. We pay a loan for 20 years. How much can the fees cost? Now, like I said, school fees for some schools is £9,000. I had to go to university for 3 years, and my school fees was £15,000. It was going to be paid by the government. It means that when I calculated for 3 years, if the government was going to pay my school fees for the 3 years, I was going to they were going to pay £9,500, £9,500 per year times 3 years. Because University of Hull, I was going to go to University of Hull. So University of Hull, as a local student, because I was going to be considered as a local student. I don't know how much they're paying for international students, but it was £9,500. So multiply it times 3 years. That's how much I was going to be owing the government for the 3 years of studies. But if I was going to ask for maintenance fee, okay, maintenance fee is about £10,000 if you're eligible for it. Okay, that adds to it maybe 20. Okay, it means the government was going to give me like £17,000 per year. So when you multiply, I think about 45,000 at the end of 3 years. So now you only start paying me as a legal person here. I was only going to start paying 6 months after I graduate from school, and they'll be cutting me. If my salary threshold was going to be above a certain amount, they'll be cutting. But for somebody who is international student, if you take a loan, for my research on loan for international students, they will give you 6 months after school. After you graduate, they will give you 6 months to be able to get into job, and then you'll be paying little by little. I think they said 8% of it or less. You pay little by little, little by little. You can pay for the next 20 years. So now you see that for the 3 years you were schooling, within those 3 years, instead of depending all on the loan, you can also look for scholarships to add to it so that it reduces the loan you'll be asking for them to pay. Because if you book for a scholarship for next, let's say this particular year, the company paid you they gave you a loan for your school year because you came from Cameroon and you did not have enough money, and they paid your school fees for 1 year. Now for year 2, you're going to do research on scholarships. Some of those universities themselves give scholarships, okay? So that the scholarship will reduce the school fees. So that the school fees will be reduced, and the loan that the company will give you will not be too much again. So at the end of the day, the little money you'll be making here and there, you'll be keeping it for postgraduate. After postgraduate, that one will help you maybe to look around for jobs, to search for jobs, and then or other certifications that you will need. So you know that the student route is a very excellent route, but you need to be disciplined. Now, some of the universities, like University of Sunderland, I think their school fees is like £10,500. Tennessee University in Middlesbrough, you have University of Bolton, you have University of West London, you have Leeds Beckett University. I think there are 2 universities in Leeds, but this one is Leeds Beckett University. You have Coventry University, you have London Metropolitan University, you have University of Chester, and let me give you other universities that their school fees is also very cheap. You have Durham University, you have University of Bristol, you have Lincoln University, you have Teesside University, and many other universities. Now, one thing you have to know about universities in the UK especially is that some of the universities will allow you to pay in many installments. They allow you to pay your school fees in many installments. If maybe your school fees is being paid by your parents, they can allow you to pay sometimes in 2 installments, sometimes in 3. That £9,500 or £10,000, they allow you to pay like in 3 installments or 4. Some even allow you 4 installments. Some even allow you 5 installments. All of it is negotiation. You negotiate with the school. The only thing is from day one, when you're coming in, the school might ask you for like between 2,000 and 4,000 CAS. You pay that amount for them to confirm your place in the school, for them to send you that CAS. You get. So you can pay £2,000 or £4,000 for them to give you a place in the university. You pay that amount upfront. So let's take, for example, you have 10 million. You want to come to the university. Let's take you want to come to University of, you are coming to Bolton University. And you apply, and they approve you, and they say, okay, now pay your first installment. You pay, for them to give you a CS, you pay like £4,000. That's about 3 million or so. To them, they will now give you a CAS. And then in the course you want to study, you check if that university is offering a scholarship for that particular course. All your children that are having AAs and BBs and you are keeping them at home, you can do this for them. Now, you check if that university is offering scholarship for international students. You now apply for a scholarship. You can only apply for the scholarship after you have gotten a CAS. You must have been approved. You must have been offered a place in the university before you can be applying for a scholarship. You don't apply for scholarship after. No, you apply to the university, be approved, and then you apply for scholarship in that university. And some scholarships can be 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 pounds. So you see that if you were coming for a master's program of 1 year and the school fee was 10,000 pounds, you've paid 4,000 pounds, and then you apply for the scholarship and the scholarship was 2,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds, bam, your money has 7,000 pounds has gone down. You have paid that money already. You have settled that. That settled the other amount up. You have a 2 or 3 installment. You can already agree with them. And so that when they will send you a contract, they are saying exactly, before you go to the embassy, they are saying exactly when you're supposed to pay the other amounts. Stated in your documentation that you're going to pay the other amount in the next 2 installments or 3 installments. You discuss with the school. I discussed with school. When I was about to go to university, I'll show you pictures when I went to university and when I sat down for my interviews and the rest. You talk with the school. There's a department in charge of international students. You write back. You have to do a back and forth writing. So if you are passing through agent, you have no idea what's going on. You are not involved in the matter. It's agent handling it. When you come here, you'll be frustrated. You don't know anything. But when you get involved and do it yourself, you know so much even before you even come here. You know so much because you were doing it yourself. That's why I succeed when I travel abroad, because I do it myself. So I'm learning in the process. Sometimes I fail, but most of the time I succeed because I'm learning in the process. So as you're talking to university, and when the university replies, you read everything they've written, read it. You might read sometimes and the English is confusing. You go and sit down again, read again the next day, read the third time. You will realize some clauses and some phrases that you did not realize the first time. Okay? Now you have your CAS in your hand because you have paid your first installment and you have received an offer. And then you're either applying for a scholarship from the school or you're applying now for a loan from all these other companies. Let me give you the name of some of these companies that are giving out loans. If you have a pen, you write it down. Offering loans to young people. The first one is Empower Financing. No, that's not the first one. The first one is Prodigy Finance. Prodigy is Prodigy. Prodigy Finance. Prodigy Finance is an international organization that offers loans for students, Africa included. They don't even need a collateral. You don't need to have a collateral. The only collateral they need is an offer from university. So you must have applied to the university, gotten the offer letter, then you apply to them, go to their website and apply. Say, I want to go to this country, UK, US, Australia, New Zealand, blah, 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 and study, and I need a scholarship. I need a loan. They will now go. That's why you need to start early. You can even start 7 months, 8 months before school time. So you start early. Then if they approve you the loan, plus the little you already paid ahead to secure your place to get a CAS, you now have a loan from, sometimes they will ask you, the loan you are asking for, is it only for school fees, or because some of them offer school fees loan plus maintenance loan. But now you might not want to go too much. You say, okay, I just need school fees loan because I've already paid part and I need, so now they offer you a school fees loan. So you have document and proof that these people are going to pay your school fees. At that point, you need a good little bank statement showing that you're able to pay your rent, or you book now for a room. You've paid 6 months already upfront. That's why I actually advise for master's program, because it's a 1-year program. It's easier for the embassy to understand, okay, you can pay 6 months, you can pay the other 6 months. Then you have paid 6 months upfront. So at the end of the day, you have a little money in your bank account. Embassy will give you visa. You come here and sit down and study. Study real good. So now, you have Prodigy Finance, they offer loans for students. You have Empower, they also offer loans. Empower Financing, they also offer loans. Future Finance, Empower is M, like Malta, Matangu. M, Power is Paul, Orange, World, England, Ruler. Empower Financing is another organization that offers loans for students. Future Finance is another organization. These are legal organizations. I will not give you anything illegal. The only thing is when you go online, make sure you check whether this is the original website. Yeah, so that you don't fall on a bad website. And some of them will ask for collateral. So when you're going through their website, make sure you find out if they're going to ask for collateral. You have Gridila. Gridila is Credila. This is for India. For those who want to go and study in India. Okay, this company will give you a loan to help you study in India. And then you have Stilt. Stilt is for the US region. They give loans for international students, including Africans. Stilt is STILT. That's another company offering loans. Their website is stilt.com. I don't know whether I give you the website for the other people. stilt.com for Stilt. Credila is CREDILA.com. And you have let me give you let me see if I got the websites for Future. Empower, I think it's also empower.com. Prodigy is prodigyfinance.com, one word. Prodigyfinance, one word.com. Okay, and other companies offering loans to Leap Finance. Leap Finance is for students, emerging markets, from students from Africa who want to study in the US. These are people that want to study only in the US. So Leap Finance will give you a loan for you to study in the US. Their website is Leap Finance, www.leapfinance. Leap is like leap year. LEAPFINACE.com. Leapfinance.com. Okay? And then you have Fundride for South Africa. These are students who want to, if you want to study in South Africa, I think, yes, those who want to study in South Africa, Fundride, like funding, FUNDRIGHT.co.za. If you want to study in South Africa, these people can give you a loan. And then back in Africa, there are countries that have, I don't know if in Cameroon, there are banks that offer bank loans for students who want to go and study abroad. I have no idea. But other African countries, I equally saw for countries like Nigeria. This is my research, personal research. Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, they have banks that are giving loans for those who want to study abroad. Okay? They give loans. And then outside these loans from all these companies, you have scholarships and grants, which can drastically reduce your school fees. You can have, let me give you some of the organizations that are offering scholarships for African students. You have MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program. MasterCard, like a card. MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program. You have Commonwealth Scholarships. You have DAAD scholarship, this is in Germany. You have Chevening scholarships, which is in UK. I think I got other scholarships somewhere. I think I got some somewhere else. If I'm not making a mistake, I got some also somewhere. Yes, you have, for those who are going to Italy, there's Italian government scholarships. You have IFA scholarships for France, those who are going to France. You have Orange Tulip scholarship for those who are going to Netherlands. You have Stipendium Hungarian for those Hungaricum for those who are going to Hungary. You have GKS scholarship for those who are going to South Korea. You have CSC scholarship for those who are going to China to study. These are student scholarships for those who are going to study. If you are not in school and there's proof from the school that money is not coming, you are not in class, these scholarships they will automatically cease, because they won't want to invest their money in somebody who will not come out and then be able to pay back. So this is what I had today for students, those who are coming to study abroad. Now, I have a little secret for those who are coming to study abroad. If you're coming to study abroad, as I'm surprised students are not asking me questions. And then when I drop this call, they start calling, and oftentimes I'll be busy and I'll start talking for one person, something I will have said for everybody, and then you call me personally and it becomes a problem. So I would like for you to ask questions so that I can answer the question and everybody will benefit. Now, another thing I want to explain to students is, when you're coming to study abroad, whether you're a parent, you are a young person, because I've seen people here of certain age, they're coming for their master's program, they're coming for their PhD program, their research program. Very valid, okay? So you can come here and study if you want to study at any age if you want to. You can come for, I don't know if you can come for diploma programs. I think there's some diploma programs that accept international students, I don't know. But I need to do a little research on that one as well. Once you come here as a student, one key thing you have to know about abroad is, please, find time to study. Find time to do your part-time jobs for the hours you have. Find even 1 hour per week to volunteer. Volunteer in the domain you are studying in university. Let's say, for example, you came here to do healthcare, social science, or whatever. Look for an organization, charity organization, or an institution or a company that is directly linked with that thing you're doing in university, and do volunteering there, even if it's 1 hour per week. Even if that is a big secret nobody will tell you. Even if it's 1 hour, whatever country you are, find that domain, that thing you're studying in university. Look for a hospital. If you are doing something hospital, look for a hospital, an organization, charity organization, a company, an institution, whatever it is. And be offering, even if it's 1 hour per week of volunteering, or twice per month, or once per month. For that 12 months you're going to be here, offer at least 1 hour per week or twice per month to volunteer in the thing you're doing in university. When you leave university, that will be experience gained. You will learn a job. But if you just go to school and then you are too busy following money for whatever, when you graduate and are looking for a job, they will be asking you for experience, local experience you will not have. And then you'll be so stuck, you'll be confused. Or immediately you graduate, if you don't have time, it's okay. But immediately you close from school, bam, go and volunteer full time in that thing which you studied in school. Volunteer in that domain. So like that, you gain experience. So when you're looking for a job, you are saying, I was volunteering here. This is a domain I volunteered in, so I have local experience. So when many people, when they graduate from school, they are rushing after carer jobs. They are rushing after that job. They are rushing after all these jobs around, cleaning job and the rest. They don't go to volunteer in their domain of study. So by the time they start looking for real jobs in their domain of study, it's too late. Nobody's going to take them because they don't have local experience. For you to be recruited in that domain, after university, you need to have experience to be recruited in your domain. You get it now. Nobody will tell you that. I tell you for free. I'm a charity person. I'm charity anything. Anything I can charity, I charity it for free. So those are the little secrets about traveling abroad as a student. And if you're coming to the UK, make sure you have done your IELTS. That English language test, get it. There's no room for, go and study it and pass the exam. Don't pay anybody. There's no bribery there. You're not going to go there, go to the British Council or write to them, or go to online and look for a number and call them. They're even online on website. Look for their, oh, I hope you have been noting from the beginning, because I've given all the information I needed to give for students. So much information, rich information. I even gave names of universities and stuff. So that you can rewatch the live. So get their online website and look for their number, call them, book for a a space, because sometimes you want to book for that IELTS, there's no space, and you're in a rush. So book early, book now. Just write your English. It's valid for 2 years. So if you are the third year university and want to come for your master's program, you can, during that third year of university, you can book for it and write your IELTS quietly. And when you want to go and write for, I don't joke, study as if you're going to write GCE. Many people joke with it. English Cameroonians, they had 5, some failed even 4. They were shocked. You don't have to be shocked, because they have the same thing when you come abroad. There's procedure in everything. It's different. It's not your regular English you're studying in school. So when you're going for IELTS, when I was going for IELTS, I studied it as if I'm studying to write GCE, and I had a 7.0. So people that even graduate, me, I get an A. People that graduated from university, they have 4. They failed. Hopefully, they are shocked. They're like, yes, because you have to study, know how to answer questions. It's exactly the same thing. You don't need an agent to travel abroad as a student. You don't need it. You just get the one money, you get your GCE if you're coming for a degree program, but your parents are able to pay for year 1, year 2, 10,000, 12,000 pounds, because some universities offer as low as 9,000 pounds for school fees. So if you look for that, if you're lucky to get a university that is offering your course as low as 9,000 pounds for international students, or 10 or 12,000 pounds for international students, are you sure you can pay year 1, year 2, year 3? If you can't, calm down, study in university. Do a good course in university, year 1, year 2, year 3, then apply for a master's program. Okay, in your third year of university, you can go ahead to apply for your university program. So you don't have because many international people at the level of the embassy, they don't like gaps. When there's an empty space, what are you doing between this and this period? They don't like those gaps. Those gaps are things that they refuse you visa. Many people are not told why they refuse visas. They want to see, what are you been doing with your life? You have been going to school to this period. You have been doing this. Then there's a big gap somewhere. This gap, what was this gap for? Make sure you don't have gaps in your life. Gaps that cannot be explained. The people at the embassy want to know, were you a bandit within this gap? Were you a criminal? What were you doing within this period? Were you doing something informal? You could have been doing something informal, like a sole proprietorship or selling tomatoes in the market. There should be some proof of what you were doing within that time where you were not in school or you were not working. Okay, there should be something. You should have been volunteering in the university. Plan your life, program your life to succeed. Most of you who have graduated from university are not doing anything. Do volunteer teaching, or do volunteer. How do you apply to the hospital to volunteer as a voluntary staff? Do something. So at the end of the day, you have something to prove of what you were doing within that empty. So there's no empty space. You don't have a gap in your life. So when you're going to the embassy, there's from this year to this year. My life, I have everything from this. I have document. I was always doing something. If I was not doing business properly, I have a license that I was doing this business. I was doing this job. I was in school. Everything. I applied for a job sometime here in the UK, and they asked me for my that is on their website, right? On the job website, on their own website where you're applying for the job. They will ask you to show your life from the day you were born. And then it's automatic. As you're punching information, the application will not go at the end of the day because there's a gap somewhere. It will come back to you and tell you, error, that this gap, you have to show what you were doing within that gap. Are you understanding me? Just some of the things that make people not to get visas at the embassy. There's no magic. There's no magic. And then when you lie, sometimes people lie. You just lie, open lie. Finally, people are known for lies. So they will not give you the visa because you are lying. So be really, or try to be authentic. That's why I'm talking to young people, because we can start with this other younger generation. And then at the end of the day, we don't have any lapses of people that are not, But if you're somebody who has been working for some time and you left university, you worked, and you want to improve your studies, you can apply. You just say you left university at this time, you've worked up to this period, but you want to study this for this period. There's no problem. You are eligible to study. It's your life. Do with your life what you want to do. But just make sure you're coming abroad with the right visa. That's all I can advise you. If you're coming abroad, get the right visa. The visa that has a tomorrow, not the visa that don't have a tomorrow. You have a tourist visa, which is 6 months. After 6 months, what happens to you? You go fallow. You don't have you go into a limbo. You don't have any documentation. Nothing covers you. You become illegal. How do you now transform it to become legal in a foreign land? So it's a simple step for a student. If you want to go for a degree program, if you want to go for a master's program, you want to go for a PhD program, you want to go for a research program, all of it is the same method. 1, how many points do you have? Look for the relevant course you want to study abroad. And like I advised last week, go to that country, look for the labor shortage in that country. What is short in that country? If your intention is that you want to study and maybe get work experience in that country, what is of shortage in their list? You pick it. In Germany, France, UK. I always talk for UK because that's where I am. That's my country. UK, okay? Then you pick a course there that you can study. You might have done something else in university, but you can apply for another thing. For the other degree you want to do, there's no problem. For the master's you want to do, for the PhD, there's no problem. Okay? Just look for a university that is university studies or a master's program for international students in social health care or social work or what else? engineering or computer analyst, or all these programs, you know best, you are a university student. You punch it in there and the university will pop up. Any university that speaks to you, go into their official website. You find out, because the website on the website, you have all the programs listed and the costs and the number of points required for each course for national and international students. You go to international section. Now you check how many points do they need. You check if you have those points, you apply. You can apply for 3 different courses. Okay, apply for like 2-3 different courses to be on the safe side. They can approve you for this or approve for that or not approve you. They must not approve you for all. So don't apply with the other. They must approve you. They might approve you for one or not approve you for all. So now when they approve you for that, they will reply to you and tell you, we approve you for this, but you have to give us this, that. They will not ask you for paperwork. Like maybe they want to ask you for IELTS or ask you for proof of certification, like your advanced level and all of that. English, those of you running from O-level mathematics, don't try it too. Better get the O-level math. I have been rejected of many things here because I don't have O-level mathematics. I didn't even have O-levels English. So I've been rejected for many things in the UK because I don't have O-level mathematics and O-levels English. I have struggled to study, even now they're saying that I have to study for 9 months to be able to get O-level mathematics. So don't tell your children to not run away from O-level. If you have the intention of coming to the UK, they should pass their O-levels mathematics and O-levels English. By force, they should try their best to pass these 2. They should not run away from it. It will catch up with them in the future. They should make sure they get their O-level mathematics, O-levels English. If they don't have the O-levels English, they should do IELTS. That one can help them catch up with mathematics. Sometimes there are courses you want to do, they are looking for O-levels English. And if you don't have that, you have to go back and do it. Just for you to do that in master's program, you have to do that in mathematics. So you see that it can get you stuck somewhere. So now once you have applied, you have given them all the documentation they need and they are satisfied, they will offer you, they will now send you a conditional offer. A conditional offer waiting for you to, they can now say, this is a conditional offer waiting for you to pay this amount. For you to confirm your place in their course. They can say pay £2,000 or pay £4,000 or pay £5,000, whatever. So you now gather yourself, your family will gather themselves. You're doing all these things, you're doing it alone. You don't need anybody. You now gather yourselves and then you pay that amount of money. Your parents should be sponsoring you if you are a student. Or you're a wife, your husband is sponsoring you, or you're a husband, maybe your wife is sponsoring you. Or you both have a joint account or something. Maybe you don't have joint separate accounts. But one person is sponsoring another person, is okay. Or family, or an auntie is sponsoring, or an uncle in the family is sponsoring. It's all okay. It's the same thing. Or a godfather, a godmother is sponsoring. It's all fine. Okay? So now, whoever is paying, they pay that from their accounts. They pay that money into the school. Now, once that money is paid, they will now send you a certificate of acceptance to study in their school. With this certificate of acceptance, you now go back to the school website and check if that school is offering scholarship for your particular course. If the school is offering a scholarship for your particular course, you apply for the scholarship. That's why you have to start early, because the time will catch you for university, for embassy. You now apply for a scholarship within the school. Now you'll be shocked. My cousin did that. He did it alone. He applied and he came to study neuro in Scotland. So he applied and they gave him a £4,000 scholarship. That alone helped his acceptance for his visa. So they offered him that £4,000. So the school asked him for £2,000 for advance, and then they offered him a £4,000 scholarship, and he was coming for a master's program. So that's £6,000 paid. Okay, then the rest is you now talk to the school for accommodation. They will not tell you about accommodation. Either it can be paid before time or you can pay it later on. But if I were you, I will pay upfront, because those are things that can be reimbursed. Always make sure that it can be reimbursed. Even your school fees can be reimbursed if you don't get a visa. Once you pay to the school, really the policy says it can be reimbursed, but they can cut maybe like £200 for administrative fee. Okay, now you check with the school and check with the accommodation of the school if they can reimburse you the accommodation if you don't get a visa. So if I were you, coming for a master's program for 1 year, I pay. If I'm coming for 1 year, I pay my six months accommodation. You have it in your hand. So now you have your certificate of acceptance to study. You have your offer letter from the university. You have your scholarship from the university. If the other amount you are not sure you can be able to pay, I'll write to any of these companies I've told you that are offering loans for African students coming to study in these big countries. Some of them are really keen to want to give off to people from Africa. You apply now. You are applying only to pay only part of the fees. They will now approve your loan. It means that all the fees has been paid. You go to the embassy with your passport, your certificate of acceptance, your offer letter, your scholarship, your loan, proof payment, your accommodation, your bank statement. Whoever is sponsoring you, have some money in the bank, okay? Have some money in the bank. Even if all of this is paid, have some money in the bank. If your school fees is paid, your accommodation is paid, the bank says that the company said that they'll pay the rest of the school fees, have something in your account. It's 5-6 million. Okay, but if they have not paid rent, they have not paid the balance of your school fees, then you should be having something really, 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 really reasonable in your account to show proof that you can pay. All right. And as a student, they will not ask you, when you're, especially if those who are coming for masters, they don't ask too much. There's not too much drama in it. So it's when you're coming for a degree program, there's a little bit, because sometimes they're looking at your age and all of that. They want to be sure, your health insurance, your travel insurance, and that's all. You can even Google or go to the official website of the country, maybe like UK. Go to their website and ask for a list of documents for students, student visa. They will list it all out. Each time you get a document, you tick, 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 your transcripts, all those things, you put them together. You walk into the embassy, you apply, you pay, and then go and collect your visa, and then you come and study. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. You see, you didn't give any money to anybody. Did you give any money to anybody in their hands? No. You paid your school. The money went for your school fees for you to learn, study, get experience. Even if you don't stay here, you go back home. You use what you gained here and survive back home. But you gain the foreign experience. You might study 1 year on and you don't like it here. You go back home. Fine. And establish your own thing. You get it. You have not paid anybody 1 franc to anybody, and you did it yourself. You can do it. So if you don't have enough money, the family can come together, contribute, and put money in your accounts. Because it's for students, it's student money now. For you to go and study, they will put the money together. They don't have to show proof too much of why the money has been there. You are a student. Do they expect you to have been working? No, you're coming to study. So, but they just need that the money should be in your account to show more than 28 days to show that you're coming to study. The money is the account there. The family can come together and if you put that money for there, maybe say you can't study because you be student. Student don't expect for show. Now when you come for tourist visa, they want to know how did you get that money. You're tourist, you want to come as a tourist, blah blah blah. Business person, that's those I put that they are looking for details. But student, no, especially young people, there's not too much of details. Nigerian students are here like this. Young people studying. I went to the university the other day. I was going for my interview for a course, and I saw a young man. He was trying to show me where I was going. He was like, "You want to follow me where I was going to?" I understood. He's a very young person. So I understood, I have a very positive energy. It's normal for me to have people just young person, somebody who need just see me and be following me when I understand it from a distance. And I know sometimes they are homesick, they are here alone, they don't know anyone, they just want somebody they can be with as a family or maybe talk to my auntie. Here, as long as you connect with anybody, black my auntie, whether they're from which country, my auntie. Like I went to church in Sheffield and I met the lady that gave me a number in church. She's from Zimbabwe, and I call her auntie or sister. Because she spoke to me and she was like, "Oh, anything you need some pots, some plates, some clothes, I can help you." You get, so that's it. But I just preferred strangers to people I know because I wanted to gain my own experience, not for any reason. I just wanted my experience, my personal experience. I didn't want to live another person's experience because sometimes you are traumatized by other people's experience. They are forcing their experience on you and they traumatize you and scare you. You get. So that was it for today, and I hope that somebody learned something and that you took some notes about your student visa. Next time, I'm sure I'll be talking about tourist visas and hoping that somebody will learn and, be able to help themselves. Thank you so much for being on the show, and God bless you. Thank you, everybody, and it is bye-bye from this side. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.